Well, we have another Habby game on the horizon, and if you went to go search for this thing in the App Store, you're most likely not going to find it if you're looking under Habby. Now, I'm about 95% certain that this is a Habby game. I mean, it looks like the graphics of Punball, it has the elements of Sssnaker, and even kind of the gameplay style of Survivor.io. But the true telltale on this here is when you go and look at the developer on it, you can see they also actually made Capybara Go when it was in the alpha phase. Now, a while ago, all these games would just be in soft launch. They would show up in certain app stores depending on the country that you were in. But now that these companies are getting a little larger, they tend to go and put it under a different name and a different developer to do all the testing, and then eventually they make a name change and then finally switch it over to the Habby. So this one was called King Rush, now it's called Wittle Defender, and you can see it right here. And obviously a lot of this stuff that we see in the other games, like pulling the gear here or pulling these heroes, looks pretty similar to some of the other ones. Not to mention we have the 7-day carnival, we have the star challenge. Every single time you go and beat something in this, a payment purchase pops up for you, so you know that's a heavy move right there. But this just looks and feels so much like them. So where a lot of the other games we start off, the first thing we get is a piece of gear. This is actually going to revolve a lot around unlocking these heroes. And actually the gear, I didn't get that until I got to, say, beat chapter 15. Now, as you can see here, there is 24 of these. Each one is going to have its own individual skills, and depending on which heroes you pick, some of them actually will go and link up to each other, or at least their skills will, to kind of give like an ultimate skill. This was something we saw in Sssnaker. If you had 2 S-grade snakes, you can eventually go and bring it into an ultimate form or ability. But the game will start out with you having your 3 choices, and instead of just going right for abilities, you're going to want to start off with picking these heroes. And you can have 5 of them out there. They won't move at all. Any enemies that get inside the circle there, they'll start shooting kind of like a Survivor.io style, but instead you're stationary. It looks like every board is pretty close to similar here. You see the little meter over on the left-hand side, 20 waves, and then those skeleton type things are going to be the bosses. I think maybe chapter 1 had it where I only went up against 1 or 2 bosses, but eventually once you get to round 10, round 15, and round 20, that's where you're gonna run into 3 of them. Not all at once, but each one at each one of those marks. Getting hero experience will allow you to upgrade the level of the hero, and then getting duplicates will allow you to upgrade the star level. Now, as far as those star levels, it looks like the rare ones are going to just be maxed out at 1 star. The epics will actually max out at 6 stars, where 5 stars then turn into a moon, and I'm not too certain about the legendaries or mythics. But on top of that, like I said, once we get to 15, that's where we can go and finally get gear and start working on upgrading that. This is also taking the souls approach of the heroes here. You see the 5 of them at the top. Those are going to be leveled up, and you can go and switch any of one of those heroes down the bottom into the top, and it'll absorb that level. But you can only keep a 10 level distance from your lowest level hero. It looks like there is 4 different elements in here of wind, fire, ice, and lightning, and depending on what type of mobs you're going up against, they'll take more damage from certain elements. Now, I haven't really switched too many of these things out or tested them all. I mean, there's some I like more than the others, but pretty much I'm just cheesing the game right now with this ice witch, using her for AoE, which is going to launch these ice spikes around in a circle, and then this demon spawn, which is going to just be a single target. I mean, it has a little AoE, but mainly just doing a big solid hit on the bosses for this fire attack. We do have the 7-day carnival, we do have the check-in, we do have purchases of cards. I did buy the monthly and the premium monthly one. However, though, that usually with these games, when they're still kind of in this alpha state, when it gets switched over to the Habby one, that's where everything gets reset. So I've been waiting for the Discord to pop up on this. That way I can apply for an alpha tester, which hopefully will give me a 1-to-1 exchange for any purchases I've made in this game. I'll still have to start over, but at least I'll be getting my money back. You see the backpack, the quest, the mail, but you also see Monster Gallery. Every time we go up against one of these new mobs, we'll just kind of get them tossed in here, and you get gems for at least seeing them. And that goes the same thing with the heroes. Every time you get a new hero, you go over there, you get gems for just saying, hey, you've unlocked it. We have our talents, we have our shop, but there is some things that I haven't actually unlocked, like a couple of things inside the daily challenge here. I haven't unlocked the gear refinement, and I believe there is going to be treasures or, you know, kind of like artifacts or collectibles, depending on what game you're playing. Similar to Capybara Go, we have this promotion tree over here, which lets us know, hey, where do we get from going and completing the quest? It's not like Capybara where we go and use gold to upgrade them. Over in the bottom left here, you'll see clear chapter 17, certain number of quests, and that just kind of goes and gets you up to the next star level. Currently, it looks like there's only 6 different pieces of gear, 1 for each slot on it, and any of the heroes can wear them. You can upgrade them, you can refine them, the whole new leveling system on that. But like I said, there's a lot of potential in this game, but this thing feels pretty polished. It hasn't glitched out on me. Everything's just running incredibly smooth, things popping up, overloaded with enemies on the screen. It doesn't kind of glitch or, stutter out on you. So I really think that this is going to be something we'll see thrown into the HABBY'S store pretty soon. It is only available in a couple of countries. I downloaded it from Canada. I think it's probably also in the Philippines, Australia, and then Sweden, maybe 1 or 2 other ones, but the typical stores that we usually download these HABBY games in soft launch. But I'm having a lot of fun with it. Played it a whole bunch today and yesterday. So if it's something you want, take a look in your app store, see if it's there. I'm gonna link a video right here, which will give you through the steps on it. It may be an old one, so if I don't have a beard, don't get scared. It's still me, but check that out if you wanna see it. So let me know your thoughts are in that. Thanks for watching, and remember, I pick my butt.